at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers Podcast. Welcome to All Dodgers Live, part of the Believe network of podcasts. We are Clinton Nation. What is going on, folks, on today's show? Yeah, we got to talk about Shohei Ohtani's press conference, his little solo press conference. That wasn't quite so solo. There was some Will the Thrill Ireton in there. Of course, no Ippei, but our big takeaways, I want your guys' thoughts on that one. Are we done with this Shohei Ippei gambling saga, or is this going to keep continuing and shining a cloud over the Dodgers? Plus some Dodgers actual news, injury news, updates, all that kind of fun things where we get to put this behind us and talk about opening day 2.0 on another edition of All Dodgers Live. Of course, I am Clint Pasillas. You guys can find me as Real FRG on the Twitter, on the Instagram. I'm a longtime baseball writer. I am a sports editor. I also am a sports analyst, and I host All Dodgers here on my All Dodgers YouTube channel. Consider giving this episode a thumbs up if you liked Shohei's statement. If you want this to be all behind us, subscribe to the channel. That's something that really helps out the channel. If you hit that subscribe button, I do got to remind you, it is completely free to subscribe. And if you are watching this live, drop your thoughts into the comments below. A couple last notes. This is also a podcast, so if you happen to get it on your Apple or your Spotify, leave a nice review. That's another thing that helps out the channel. And I want to remind you, I do have a Patreon. If you're looking for a different way to support me, support independent baseball and Dodgers coverage, I got a couple of options there if you want to do it. If not, that's completely up to you. Patreon.com/RealFRG. And final thing, if you haven't had enough of me already, I co-host Dodgers Territory with Alanna Rizzo every Monday and Thursday. The first episode just dropped today at noon, a little bit before Shohei's presser, and me and Alanna had our first fun time talking about the Dodgers and this situation. But let's get into the comments a little bit, and then we will get into the excitement, quote, of the Shohei Ohtani spectacle. I don't know if that's what we want to call it, but I see Diane Schroeder. She told me she couldn't be on live when Alanna and I were on DT earlier, but she still sent her love. So she says, smash that like button on the way in, guys and girls. Axel said, dude straight up said he's going to cooperate with the authorities. If we're talking about the Shohei thing, I do want, I have a clip from SNLA. I have my thoughts. I want people's thoughts on it. I liked what I heard from Shohei personally. I think it makes a lot of, the story makes a lot of sense. And there's not, what are the words I'm looking for here? Shohei is a very private dude, but what we do know about him kind of lines up to the story he told, which is he's not somebody who cares very much about his money. I think the report was like his mom managed his money in Japan, and then Ippei kind of managed a lot of his money here in the States. Now, I don't know if that's 100% for sure, for truth. I did see it on the Twitter, so it has to be true. But that's just one of those things where I could understand how a very, very wealthy man could misplace, air quote, $4.5 million or really not see it exit his account. Juice Narrows in the chat. What's going on, Juice Narrows? Good to see you in here. Says, I'm tired of all the Otani and Dodgers slander on the internet right now. Salty baseball fans, they want to see our downfall. F them. Yeah, I'm real tired. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. The idea of all the distraction, because it's not just players, it's also Dodgers fans. It's been a number of seasons of distractions, and you look at the Bauer situation, and then the Bauer, then the Urias, and then before that, there was a short season championship. Like, there's always something bad people have to say about the Dodgers, and sometimes it's warranted, it's merited. But I just want a nice season of baseball. That's all I want. I just want to see some damn Dodger baseball happen, at least for once. Justin Yamas in the chat says, great job on Dodger territory. Thank you. I want to shout out one of the first people that was in the chat, are one of our great moderators, IB Strokin, sent a super chat on there. There was a lot of things going on DT today where we couldn't get to the chat, or I couldn't get to the chat because we had some technical things going on in the background. What do you expect? It's first episode, but I appreciate everybody that did tube into the show. Everybody is, very, very thankful for the support you guys have shown in episode 1. There's a lot of people in that chat as well, so that's freaking cool. Hopefully we keep going, keep growing from there. Next episode dropping on Thursday at noon. But yeah, I just want to specifically point out IB Strokin for being a legend. I think he even gifted some memberships to people there over on the Foul Territory channel, so we appreciate IB Strokin for that. So let's get into the fun, into the excitement of this Shohei Ohtani situation, the big ticket of today's show. Yes, Shohei speaks and Will translates. Shohei Ohtani takes about 12 minutes to, the back and forth, the translation obviously took up some time in that, but you run through a very thorough account from his side of things of what happened. He kind of shares what he's feeling, and I don't know about you guys, again, at this point, and we'll listen to it and we'll kind of break it down and share more thoughts after the fact, but I fully believe Shohei Ohtani, like, dude was taken advantage of by his alleged best friend, and it's a tough spot for Shohei, and I mean, the guard has got to be so high for this dude going forward. I hope it doesn't, like, destroy his, good taste in his mouth going into a new team, new season, trying to win, trying to bring home a piece of metal to the Los Angeles Dodgers, playing the postseason as a Major League Baseball player for the first time. I hope this doesn't derail it too much. I guess if there's anything, you're happy it happens now instead of later in the season, but just a shitty situation overall for Shohei, if what he said is true, which again, I believe it to be pretty true. It passes the sniff test for me. I will say, it was no questions. It was not open to the media. Everybody just kind of had to sit there and listen to what they had to say, which is fine. It was just a statement. I did see that they weren't allowing any cameras, only MLB Network and the main feed from Sports in LA. At first I thought that was going to be kind of soft, but overall, let's say it cut down on all the unnecessary BS in the media room, people trying to get the best angle. You got the best angle, just get the footage from SNLA. I really don't know why everybody needs to bring in their own fucking camera anyways into these things. It's such a stupid waste of time. People collaborate, figure it out. One person can get the footage, one person can get the best audio. Share this shit. You don't need to bring in your own camera and spend, $5,000 on equipment so you feel really cool and you get to, like, whip around your equipment dick or whatever. Just that's a whole other thing, but I hate the media room. I really do. But my gripes aside, Shohei Ohtani, I think, delivered so much more in his statement than I feel anybody really anticipated. I thought I was expecting a lot more cut and dry, a lot more, I can't speak on this because of the situation. I can't speak on this because there is an investigation. But no, he opened up. He talked about the hurt. He talked about the deception. And he opened up about a lot of things with this situation. So, without further ado, let's listen to Shohei for about 6 minutes or so, 6.5 minutes, and then we'll come back and break it down. So if you guys haven't seen it, here's some parts of Shohei Ohtani.
まずはじめに、僕自身は、何かにかけたりとか、誰かに代わって、そのスポーツイベントにかけたりとか、それをまた頼んだり、っていうことはないですし、僕の口座からブックメーカーに対して、誰かに送金を依頼したことももちろん全くありません。
So I never bet on baseball or any other sports, or never have asked somebody to do it on my behalf. And I have never went through a bookmaker to bet on sports.
本当に数日前まで、彼が、そういうことをしていたっていうのも、全く知りませんでした。
Up until a couple days ago, I didn't know that this was happening.
結論から言うと、彼が僕の、口座からお金を、盗んで、なおかつ、みんな僕の周りもそうですね、みんなに、嘘をついていたっていうのが、結論から言うとそういうことになります。
Just to kind of just go over the result, in conclusion, Ippei has been stealing money from my account and has told lies.
まず初めに言うと先週末、韓国ですね、僕の代理人に対してメディアの、方から、私が、僕のにですね、違法のブックメーカーから、僕が、関与しているのではないかというスポーツ賭博について、関与しているのではないかという連絡がありました。
Last weekend in Korea, media has reached out to a representative in my camp, inquiring about my potential involvement in this sports betting.
で、一平さんは僕にこういった取材の依頼があるということをまず、僕には話していなかったし、僕の方にそういう連絡はまず来ていなかったということと、まず初めに代理人には、一平さんは僕と話して分かったのは、一平さんにではなく、某友人の借金の肩代わりとして、支払ったというふうに、僕の代理人も含めてみんなに話してました。
So Ippei never revealed to me that there was this media inquiry, and to the representatives in my camp, Ippei told to the media and to my representatives that I, on behalf of a friend, paid off debt.
で、その翌日にさらに尋問で一平さんは、僕たちの代理人に対して、借金は自分のもの、つまり一平さん自身が作ったものだということを、説明しました。
Upon further questioning, it was revealed that it was actually, in fact, Ippei who was in debt.
で、それを僕が、肩代わりしたという話を、その時に代理人に話したそうです。
And told my representatives that I was paying off those debt.
そしてこれらは全く全てが嘘だったということですね。
And all of this has been a complete lie.
一平さんは取材依頼のことも僕にはもちろん、その時伝えていなかったですし、代理人の人たちに対しても、僕はすでに彼と話して、コミュニケーションを取っていたということを、嘘をついてました。
So Ippei obviously lied about, basically didn't tell me about the media inquiry. And then その代表に対して、
僕もそうだし、代表、チームもそうですね。チームも、代理の人たちに対しても、つまり僕とコミュニケーションを取っていたっていうふうに嘘をついてました。
So Ippei has been telling everybody around that Ippei has been communicating with Shohei on all of this account to my representative, to the team, and that hasn't been true.
そして僕がこのギャンブルに関しての問題を初めて知ったのは、韓国での第一戦が終わった後に行われたチームミーティング、試合の後のチームミーティングの時です。
The first time I knew about this gambling, Ippei's gambling, was during after the first game when we had team meeting in the clubhouse.
そのミーティングで彼は全部英語で話していたので、僕に通訳はもちろんその時ついていなくて、全て英語で話していたので、完全には理解できていなくて、なんとなくこういう内容だろうなっていうのはおそらくは、理解はできていましたけど、なんとなく違和感をその時は感じてました。
So during the team meeting, obviously, Ippei was speaking in English, and I didn't have a translator on my side. But even with that, I kind of understood what was going on and started to feel that there was something amiss.
で、その時彼は僕に対してホテルに帰った後で、2人で、より詳しいことを、2人で話したいので今は待ってくれというふうに言っていたので、僕はまずその時はホテルまで待つことにしてました。
Just prior to the meeting, I was told by Ippei, hey, let's talk one-to-one in the hotel after the meeting. So I waited until then.
で、僕は一平さんがその時にミーティングの時にギャンブルの依存症だっていうのは僕はもちろん知らなかったですし、彼が借金をしていることもそのミーティングの時はもちろん知りませんでした。
So up until that team meeting, I didn't know that Ippei had a gambling addiction, and was in debt.
で僕は彼の借金返済にももちろんその時も同意してませんし、ブックメーカーに対して彼に送金をしてくれって頼んだことももちろん許可したことももちろんないです。
And obviously at that point, obviously I never agreed to pay off the debt or make payments to the bookmaker.
でその後試合後ホテルに、戻って一平さんと初めてそこで話をして、彼に巨額の借金があることをその時知りました。
And finally, when we went back to the hotel and talked one-to-one, that was when I found out that he had a massive debt.
で彼はその時私に、僕の口座に勝手にアクセスしてブックメーカーに送金していたということを僕に伝えました。
And it was revealed to me during that meeting that Ippei admitted that he was sending money using my account to the bookmaker.
So there's a lot. There's a lot there. There's more to the presser. This was one of the clips they put online, so I figured I'd rip it, post it here. But again, I will reiterate, I believe Shohei in this. I feel terrible for Shohei because this is a dude. Ippei has been his right-hand man. He's been like his guy. And it's not just, not like John Boy thinks where the translator just shows up for work at the stadium, translates, and then goes home. No, these people follow them around. They essentially live with them. They also sort of act like personal assistants. So Ippei was very much ingrained into Shohei's day-to-day life. The takeaways, the quote, Ippei has been stealing money from my account and told lies, which was one of the things that, when you heard version 1 of the story, which was the lie, and then it flipped, it's like, okay, I can understand some people's trepidation or untrust in the story, but when you hear Shohei talk about it and you kind of hear Ippei back it down or back up what he said, it just kind of lends itself more to the idea that this dude straight up lied. And I mean, how he ended up getting a 90-minute phone conversation with ESPN and how this dude riffed like just straight up BS for 90 minutes. That's impressive. That's some crazy ass shit there. Shohei says up until that meeting in the clubhouse where even the players are like, so we don't care. We don't know what's going on. Doesn't seem to affect us. It wasn't until then where Shohei kind of started catching, wait a minute, something's wrong here. He said, up until that team meeting, I didn't know Ippei had a gambling addiction or was in debt. Let's unclick that there. Beyond shocked. Hard to verbalize how Shohei Ohtani is feeling at this point. Again, that is his dude. That is his boy. I see Jack Powers in there saying habitual liar can go 5 levels deep with the lie very easy. And we are going to get to your guys' comments. I see you guys firing off in the comments. Appreciate y'all jumping on the show here. Hit that like button if you think Shohei is innocent, by the way. Let's do that. Did not bet on any sports, did Shohei. Did not bet, period. It seems very kind of obvious if you want to let yourself believe it. And maybe I'm a naive dude. Maybe I could be easily swayed. But Ippei shielded Shohei from probably a whole lot of things he didn't want him to know. I saw a tweet from, it was I don't know if it's Japanese media or just a fan in Japan or somebody who's a fan who knows Japanese and also a big-time fan of the Japanese players on the team. But somebody, and I retweeted it, somebody saying that they didn't like that Ippei's translations kind of kept a lot of Shohei's words out. He kind of cut some words out of there. So maybe he also wasn't very good at his job. One of the things Alanna Rizzo and I talked about earlier today on Dodgers Territory and Foul Territory Network. Check it out. We were talking about, like, how can this dude lie? How can you get away with just making up, oh, yeah, I went to UC Riverside. I worked for the Red Sox. I worked for the Yankees. How does nobody fact check this? I can understand you have the power of the unicorn, the power of Shohei, and you just kind of bring along whoever's with them. But it still seems, I don't know. I mean, you would want to see maybe a little more due diligence out of those Anaheim Angels. Shohei Ohtani said, and this was a direct tweet from Sam Blum of The Athletic. Shohei Ohtani said that Ippei had been telling people that he was communicating all of this to Shohei, which he said later wasn't true. Ippei lied. Quote from Otani, all of this has been a complete lie. Ippei never revealed to me that there was the media inquiry from ESPN, and Ippei told media that I, on behalf of a friend, paid off his debt, which that's the first part that ESPN started getting ready to run before Otani's people was like, wait, and Dodger people were like, wait, this is no, this is all wrong. Shohei Ohtani learned of all of this at the same time everybody was kind of learning all of this. The walls caved in on Ippei Mizuhara. Shohei learned about all of this in a one-on-one after that team meeting. They talked privately at the team hotel. Ippei's ass was fired after Shohei called the Dodgers and his lawyers, and he's gonna have a very, very long road ahead of him. Ain't gonna be working in baseball ever again. But I want to know what you guys think on this whole situation. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Matty Man 5 Dodge says Ippei means liar in Japanese. I appreciate that. Roach is in the chat. What's going on, bud? Asking, you think the Angels organization would do something good as an organization and do some research? No, never that. That's not their style. They don't believe in that. That's one of the things, again, we talked about a little bit on Dodgers territory earlier this afternoon. I wanted to go in a whole lot more, but, less is more sometimes. Let's see what else we got. Jack Powers bringing up in a conversation that Ippei is also like a casino dealer school dropout. Nailed the words. I eventually got them all right, but I mean, if you're not good enough to even count the cards there as a dealer, what did Ippei say? He said he's the world's worst gambler. I mean, really good liar, very bad gambler, horribly unemployed now. Carnivorous Wind Activity saying that I'm assuming, I don't know if we're talking about Shohei or Ippei, says that he looked and sounded old. I mean, I feel that. Anthony Keene says folks from the 909 can't be trusted off the top. And I fully agree. Never trust the 909 unless you guys are from the 909. Then I love you specifically. I promise that much. I see. I don't know if you guys saw it. I know I see a conversation about it here. Pete Rose, noted gambler, had a thought about this in a video, not a cameo, but it was like a video that's gone the viral on the internet, where he said he'd be scot-free if he had a translator in the 80s. And it's like, bro, your situation was a whole lot different. And hey, you were betting on baseball. That's number one. Don't bet on baseball, even if you're betting on your own team. But Shohei was not betting at all. Shohei was living his life. He's doing his thing. You guys saw the videos. You guys saw how much work this dude puts in. This guy lives, breathes, eats, shits baseball. He doesn't have time to go around gambling and being a degenerate. He wants to throw up that big-ass, heavy-weighted ball and have a good time. Justin saying, play ball, guys, as we're a little back in the comments. I agree. I want to get there. But let's get through this a little bit more here. I want to get a few comments. Anthony Keene saying, to be honest, this is a tale as old as time. Rich and busy people have assistants who handle everything for them. Think E from Entourage. I didn't watch Entourage, but I agree with you, because why not? So it's not unheard of that someone gets taken advantage of. And this is one of the first things. I have a note somewhere in my pile of notes about this. It feels very much like a dude who just got very much taken advantage of by somebody he very much trusted. And I'm not going to defend Ippei. I don't think there was a crap ton of malice behind like how it started. I think he got lost in the spiral of access. If he had access to Shohei's money and a little bit here and a little bit there, it's like you have a tub of ice cream. You eat a little bit here, a little bit there. Yeah, fat guy's talking about eating ice cream, but all of a sudden, all that ice cream is gone, and you're like, oh shit, what do I tell the wife? Ippei just kind of He bit off much, much more expensive ice cream a few times. Team Ruiz asking or saying, like, come on, really? You think, or this was Otani's right-hand man? You're telling me Otani knew nothing? I really do believe. I don't think he knew enough. I think he trusted. If you trust somebody that much, it's like, your significant other cheating on you or something like that. If you trust somebody enough to do all this, like they've done for years, you're not going to look into the situation. And like I said earlier in the show, the reports say Otani was not he's reportedly not very interested in money. I think deferring $680 million of a $700 million deal would kind of back that up. If he really, really was a degenerate, garbage human gambler and very bad at it, I would think he would want all of that money up front. He's got money. He's fine. And Ippei had money for a little bit. Things just got out of hand. Straight up, things got very much out of hand for Ippei, and that's the situation. So now we trudge on. We try to, as I see people in here defending the 909. Again, I love the 909 as long as I'm not in it. Oh, I almost missed this one. 999 super chat from our guy Richard Flores. Thank you, Richard, for being here in the chat. Says other fan bases so badly want Otani to be guilty. The national press put so much BS speculation on their coverage. I guess a private jet to Toronto didn't want any of this story. Yeah, as I drop my pen, pull out another one here because we got that big time pen money here. Thank you, Shohei. That's why I tried to avoid speculation. If Shohei did it, we didn't know. Even at this point, we still don't know. Now it's just one man's word against another. We don't know. We're not there. I have reason to believe Shohei more because there's enough discredit now to Ippei where we're hearing that his time at UCR was a lie, and his jobs with as a translator on the East Coast with the Red Sox and the Yankees, those were lies, reportedly. So you avoid that. I did see a comment after our last video, after our last live stream, somebody getting mad at me for not speculating, for not saying, oh, Shohei could have done this. You don't speculate. You don't add to that vacuum of I'm not going to call it stupidity, but I'll just say wild speculation. Don't add to that. Just let the news, let the facts speak for themselves, and that was the facts we had at the time. There was version 1 of the story, version 2 of the story. As we again begin to trudge forward, move on. Appreciate you guys hanging out here in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for to show your support for the channel. Appreciate you guys. Subscribe if you're not. Again, it is free. Are we towards the end of this being a distraction for the team? To me, I want your guys' thought on this. I mean, it's national news. Anytime you have national news, obviously it's a very big distraction. Something Alanna told me before we went on earlier. I like what she said. She's like, Otani in his own right is a distraction to the team because of all of the added media interest that comes along with him. But to me, this feels like, unless something drastically changes, and we learned that Shohei BS his way through his, story, through his statement. Maybe there's another week of this. Maybe there's a sprinkling of Ippei being charged with X or Y or Z, and IRS is involved, and all of these people. But the distraction of this storyline does not have that much longer of a shelf life for the Dodgers. At least that's my opinion. And I said it much earlier. This Dodgers team, over the last few years, this clubhouse has dealt with much worse in terms of unsavory headlines or things they don't want to talk about, whether it be Trevor Bauer in 2021, more Trevor Bauer in 2022, Julio Urias in 2023. Dave said over the weekend. I think it was Saturday or Sunday at Dodger Stadium. Listen, they're battle tested. This is a clubhouse mostly filled with dudes that have been there, done that. It sucks, but they want to focus on baseball. They want to focus on their preparation. And I'm ready for Dodger baseball to be about Dodger baseball. I don't know about you guys. I think we got another super chat. Let's scroll down. I was informed we do have a super chat from Matty Man 5 Dodge, a legend here. Appreciate you, Matty Man 5 Dodge. $10 super chat. My man says, here's a tenner for you not speculating, Clint. I appreciate that. Listen, there's no reason. There's no reason to add to the speculation. You got enough of that. The only time you're going to see ESPN talking about baseball is when it's a speculation-driven story like this, and that's why we're seeing Pat McAfee try to talk to Jeff Passan about this frickin' story. Stick to what you're good at. Sensationalizing other stuff. Leave our baseball alone. Or if you're going to cover it, cover it with love and care and try to actually, grow the game. Don't let Stephen A. Smith talk about it either. All right, guys. Well, a bunch of you are in the chat. I appreciate you guys hanging out so far. We got some more show. We do want to talk about actual baseball. I see 275 Vet, our guy in the stream, saying, what a shitty way to start the season. I just can't wait to talk ball again. At least we got 2 games out of the way. All of this out of the way. Again, I do appreciate Shohei being as open, as thorough as he kind of felt in his statement, much more than I was anticipating. Dodgers contingent behind him as he entered the room. The reports say, Stan Kasten was there, Andrew Friedman, important people in the front office. Teammates were there. I think I heard or I saw Kike Hernandez, Joe Kelly coming in to offer up support in Shohei in this situation. Kudos to them, but I'm ready to talk about Dodgers baseball. People giving some love to John Boy in there. John Boy did not have the best of takes on here for sure, or on this situation, but we always don't all have the best takes. That's just how this goes. Sometimes your brain's a little fried. By the way, this is a thirsty Monday. I can't. I mean, I can. I'm encouraged to drink on Dodgers territory. The problem is on that, it's 12 p.m. on a Monday that I'm doing that show. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, God. Ricardo Ayala saying the pitch after Stephen A. said that no one cares about baseball. Hey, what about Otani not being worthy of being the face of baseball? Stephen A., what a joke. One last thing on this. As I see, hepatitis see you later. What's going on, hepatitis see you later? Says, why would he be suspended if he's a victim? People still talking about the Shohei situation. Of course, he's not going to be suspended. We talked about this on Dodgers territory earlier. Alanna and myself, she brought up the fact that there is a precedent. MLB has a precedent. MLB loves its precedent. Jared Cozart, back in the day, I think that's the name. I forget the name right now. Honestly, I completely forgot about that storyline. So shout out to Alanna and her knowledge for bringing it back up. But he was somebody who himself did not bet on baseball, but he bet with illegal bookmakers and only got an undisclosed fine. Shohei Ohtani will not be suspended unless it was found that he's betting on baseball and all this, but that's not going to be the situation. Let's see, we got a cheers from Carnivorous Lunar Activity. Cheers, my guy Cooper Neal in the chat saying great show earlier. Just got here. Just got off work having a shift beer with you. Appreciate you, Cooper Neal. Of course, if you guys don't know, Cooper is the guy that designed a lot of the little graphics on here, including this Dodgers thing and my caricature down there and the main logo for the channel. Great artist. Love working with Cooper. Smart dude. Big-time baseball fan. Stuck in Florida. Big-time Dodgers fan. Stuck in Florida. Let's move on. Let's move on here. I'm tired of talking. Oh, that's right. I wanted to add one more. So I'm not tired of talking Shohei Ohtani just yet. I do want to give a shout out. I wrote it here. As you guys see, proper chicken scratch. Love for Will. I want to give, and that is a really bad, I had to write it in an awkward space here. Shout out Will Ireton for stepping into a really bad situation and obviously stepping into a tender situation where he's now the impromptu translator for Shohei Ohtani. But for the folks who don't know Will Ireton, Will the Thrill, this is a guy who's been here. He's been with this club for a long, long, long time. He was the translator for Kenta Maeda up until Kenta was traded to the Twins for Brusdar Graterol. He's remained with the club. They had such a good rapport with him that they created a new job for him where he was like I forgot what it was, but he was like a roving minor league coordinator, or I forget exactly what it was, but he stayed with the club. He worked with the AAA clubs a lot. You would always see him at spring training. You know, Will was one of those good dudes, and hopefully Shohei appreciates Will. I do appreciate Will also taking that time to translate, hopefully almost verbatim, what Shohei was saying in that statement. So much love to Will Ireton. As we get also some love in here for Kenta Maeda. Everybody loves Kenta Maeda-san. That's one of my guys. Happy he got a nice contract this offseason. But let's move on. Enough about Shohei Ohtani. Let's talk about some Dodgers news. Let's talk about some injury updates. Finally, some non-Ohtani news. Shohei Ohtani threw a baseball for the first time today since elbow surgery last September. Shortly after the end of his presser, the team went out on the field to do their warm-ups, and Shohei was on the field throwing for the first time since that elbow surgery. So what the Dodgers said was going to happen. It is a major milestone in his progression towards being available to pitch in 2025. No, Shohei Ohtani will not pitch in 2024. That is not even slightly an option. However, maybe he could be available in an outfield role in September. He's said it. He's got outfield gloves, they say. We really, really hope that's not the situation where that is needed. But Shohei Ohtani, throwing flat ground, did not go beyond 50 feet. Did throw under the supervision of the Dodgers strength and conditioning guys. And that's a big step. It's a massive step. New futures, new ventures for Shohei, I guess we'll say there. Back into spring training mode for the Dodgers. Of course, we have 3 games. They're already 1-0 in these fake games. But we got games that don't count. Do games ever really count when you're playing the Angels? Oh, it's another Angels burn. But Walker Buehler was spotted at Dodger Stadium today. There was a point this later, I guess we'll say in spring training, later before they took off to Korea, the team took off to Korea, where there was the maybe chance that Walker Buehler would pitch in one of these Freeway Series games. He's not going to pitch in the games. He did throw off the mound today, live BP off the mound, faced James Outman. I think he faced another one of the Josue DePaula. He faced I don't know everybody. Those are the 2 I saw on the video. Reports say he hit 94 on the gun. Trudging forward. It's a trudging kind of word today, but he is moving towards being available, being active by May. That's kind of the unofficial target date. Walker Buehler returning to the starting rotation by May. Emmett Sheehan is another guy who I don't know if it's happening now, if it just happened now. This is about the time Dave Roberts should have been available, so I don't know if anything has come from his most recent presser. I'm sure he had some thoughts on Shohei as well, but I'm not seeing anything right now from the beats. Emmett Sheehan, though, he's up. He's building up his, after having a start and then stop in his spring training season. He was reportedly, or he was set to throw a bullpen today. I don't know if that happened at this point, but the plan was bullpen today, could face hitters this week, maybe Wednesday, probably not Thursday. That will be opening day. Like we did talk about on Dodgers territory earlier, Dodgers kind of need this guy. They need Sheehan to bridge that gap in the starting rotation because, now the Dodgers say they've pushed unofficially, they've pushed Yoshinobu Yamamoto back a day in the starting rotation. You have Glasnow lining up to start opening day 2.0 on Thursday at 1 p.m. Dodger Stadium. Not Shelby, but Bobby Miller starts game 2 at Dodger Stadium against them Cardinals. And then you have Yamamoto starting Saturday against the Cards, and then presumably followed by Gavin Stone. And we look back to a couple weeks ago and we're having that whole Blake Snell conversation. Maybe the Dodgers don't need him. Oh, crap, maybe the Dodgers kind of need him. I'm not exceptionally thrilled about Gavin Stone as your number 4 guy, your number 5 guy. As we get Swollen Sausage in the chat with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Trolling says, I bet, air quotes, Otani is happy to throw again. And then throws in a high. It's a fire joke. It's a fire take, or whatever that other channel says. My friend Doug McCain. Shout out Doug McCain, by the way. But this is a team that needs Emmett Sheehan to bridge that gap, because if somebody can't give innings, or they need to, if they're going to be keeping Yamamoto regularly pitching once a week, other people are going to have to move. Other people are going to have to adjust. I did say earlier in the offseason, one thing that does help this team, there are some off days on Thursdays. The schedule kind of lends itself to helping the team, or helping the starting rotation bridge the gap on its own. But if we're seeing like Ryan Yarbrough starting some games, or if we're seeing Kyle Hurt, as an opener, and Ryan Yarbrough as a bulk guy, it's not the end of the world. If it were happening in August or September, then I'd be worried. If it was happening in October, I'd probably jump off the roof. But you need Emmett Sheehan. You need him to bridge that gap to Walker Buehler. I mean, I'm not the most high on Emmett Sheehan, but he's still somebody that is a starter, somebody that would be the number 5 guy if he was healthy, but now it's Gavin Stone. But you need those guys. You need those guys to back it up. You need Walker Buehler to get healthy, and hopefully everything comes together there for the team. One final thing on this, and these shows will probably I'm still figuring out how this channel is gonna work. Like, I'm not stopping, obviously, doing content. I think doing 4 live streams a week maybe doesn't make sense, but we're gonna stay on the Monday. We're gonna stay on the Thursday for now. They might not be an hour long anymore, because sometimes the brain starts frying out. But let's say, probably got one more thing. We'll take some comments and then we'll get the hell out of here. EB agrees with me on Gavin Stone. We're both hoping that Stoner proves us wrong. He would put Sheehan ahead, as would I, but Stone had himself a very, very good spring training, and it was more, I'll say more believable than his last year's very good spring training, because he was really good in spring training last year, but also he was facing not the top of the lineup. This time he was actually starting games. This time it was, facing the A lineup more often than not in the shorter spring training. Did look better. The team likes what they're seeing out of him. They kind of changed the grip, I think it was, on the changeup a little bit. And the hope is Stoner puts up a much, much better 2024 season. We are hoping for a better sophomore season for Stoner. But the final thing I did want to talk about, something that kind of raised my eyebrow here leading into the second game, the middle game of this weird 2-city freeway series that we have. Gavin Lux not in the lineup against the Angels on Monday night. I don't know if it's because they're facing the left-hander and Reed Detmers. I don't think that's the situation, but Dave Roberts did say if Gavin Lux is going to be getting days off, it would be against a lefty. So I don't think that it's a situation where there's much to worry about in terms of Gavin Lux's health. I did see something. I don't know if any other folks watched it or were watching the Sunday game. I did see something where Gavin looked like he was slightly uncomfortable, kind of pulling, tugging. Maybe there's just a knee brace. Maybe he was adjusting it. But in my mind, I saw like a little bit of a grimace or a wince as he was reaching down to his knee after going first to third on a wet infield at Dodger Stadium. I hope there's not something in his knee. I hope there wasn't something, tweaked there in that knee. But with that, what we're seeing, the Dodgers, if they're going to give Gavin a day off, it appears they're going to slide Mookie over to second. So you do get a Miggy Rowe start there at shortstop tonight. Man, is he just fun to watch. He's just such a pleasure to watch. By the way, Miguel Rojas will be on Chris Rowe's rotation on John Boy tomorrow, as I talked a little bit of crap about John Boy earlier. Still love their content, still love to watch Chris Rowe's rotation. And while I'm not the biggest fan of hearing Miguel Rojas speak, mostly just because I think he's I don't want to go as far as saying he's full of himself, but he thinks highly of himself, which is fine. Hey, more power to the dude. But also, you're kind of a backup infielder, my guy. Not to throw stones. I'm not even a backup infielder. But anyways, be very interested in seeing if he is going to address the Jazz Chisholm shade thrown his way and see what kind of thoughts we get out of Miggy Rowe, a veteran who will speak his mind, what kind of thoughts it will get out of him on the Otani situation related to the clubhouse and all of that. Could be fun. Could be, I wouldn't say inflammatory, but could be something fun. Let's see. We got Cooper Neal, my guy, saying Miggy is our best shortstop. He needs to be there. Middle infield, not a problem. Only 2 real games that have counted so far. Middle infield has not been a problem. Third base, we know, kind of a problem. I said on the last stream, I'm going to kick the can down the road, let Max play some infield, play some third base on some dirt, on some real dirt at a real baseball stadium, major league stadium. Same with Yamamoto. I'm going to give Yamamoto a little bit of the benefit of the doubt in having all of the pomp and circumstance of that debut start, being in that dome, and just, I think, again, I'm not going to defend all of them, but I'm not going to cast stones quite yet. I'm not selling my stock, or I'm trying to find a good betting reference, but I didn't have one. Not selling my stock on those dudes quite yet. See what else you guys got. If we want to get a couple more comments in here, we can, and then we will get the hell out of here. We're about 20 minutes till first pitch. You got Gavin Stone on the bump for the Dodgers. The next Dodgers territory will be on Thursday at noon. We'll be talking about all the latest. It won't be too much of a game preview show, and hopefully we don't have too many early games during our run, during mine and Alana's run, which will be for the season. Gary A is saying the fanboys blaming Muncy for an 8.25 ERA. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yeah, I think Muncy gets a little bit more hate than he deserves, and this is coming from me, who I wouldn't say hate, but I did have a strong amount of concern about his defensive ability and his defensive prowess. But, he's kind of figured it out. Or he's figured it out at times. Just let him get in there. What are you trying to type? This is very, oh, there it is. I see a super chat from the lovely Diane Schroeder. Thank you so much, saying you were the GOAT on Dodgers territory. If you didn't see it as a must-watch, guys, check out the new show on Foul Territory. Subscribe to the channel there. Show some love during the live streams and then after the live streams. I've seen a number of comments from folks who were upset that, oh, of course it's about the Dodgers. If you're a fan of another team, you want your own team, you want Padres territory, you want Cardinals territory, support us. That's the only thing that's going to show them that the model will work. That if you get some people, put on the show, people are going to watch. Because we all love our teams. We all love this great sport. This is why we're on here on the internet for some reason talking about it, and you guys watching me sip on some booze, get a little sweaty in front of this old-ass ring light that I need to replace because it's just, like, pretty sure it's giving me cancer. But anyways, appreciate you guys. Again, we do this for you and for us. We like talking, but we do it for you. Gary A. on the love, remains on the love for Max Muncy. He's got no business at third base. That on the Dodgers. Swollen Sausage. That feels really loud to me. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but $1.99, $2 super chat. Appreciate you, Swollen Sausage. Saying I'm glad you have your channel. Hope you kick ass. Thank you very much, Swollen Sausage. I'll be here. I will be here. We will be here. Can't stop, won't stop. Having fun with this. A little bit of a surprise. Next week, starting in April, probably will not, maybe, I don't know, we'll figure it out, but probably won't do a Monday stream in recognition of Easter. I don't know if there are a lot of people who want a stream on Easter. We'll figure it out, or on Easter Day observed, what they have on the calendar there. We'll figure it out. I think we're still doing a Dodgers Territory on Monday, but, I'll find a way to do some other content if we don't do live here. EB asking, do I think there are some fake Dodgers YouTube channels because the Dodgers fan base is so big and money can be made from this fan base? Of the people that actually have a face and are the most active, and I've interacted with just about all of them, I don't think there's too many fakers on here. I think like if I were somebody if I did not have, the platform that I have, if I didn't, kind of start doing this 6-7 years ago or whatever it was for the other channel, and then doing my own thing back in the day with my buddy Kevin. If I was a fan looking for this kind of stuff as a Dodger fan, I would feel very, very blessed to know that if you want the one-on-one interaction, you want no nonsense, sometimes no nonsense, you come to me. You want one-on-one interaction and also some news, you come to me. You go to Doug. You want some one-on-one interaction, you want a chill, relaxed time, and veteran thoughts on the team and on minor leaguers. You got Tim, you got Casey over at 2080. Over at Dodgers Daily. Of course, you got my guys Jeff and Vince at Locked On. There's a lot of great stuff here. The Bleed Los guys, they hump, they hustle. You guys, this is fun. And imagine being like a Royals fan. I can't imagine there's Royals Nation out there doing very much content. But to the question, I'm sure there are some folks that are trying to be in it for the money. I'm in it for the vibes, baby. All day, day. Sorry, so bad. On that note, we probably should end, get the hell out of here. Oh, Dodger Blue, EB, thank you, Dodger Blue. That's another team, another group. Spoiler alert: we will be working with a lot on Dodgers territory. Dodger Blue had Jeff Spiegel on. Love Jeff Spiegel. I've known Matt Moreno for a very long time. Blake Williams is one of my old writers at the old outlet a long time ago. They put in the work as well, and appreciate those dudes and hoping to keep working with those guys going forward. But guys, again, that is about it. Appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all the great questions, the comments here. Thank you so damn much for the super chats. That really does mean a lot to me. I'll say it again also, shout out to IB Stroken for being one of the first people in Dodgers Territory episode 1. Sharing a super chat there, gifting memberships to Foul Territory to some folks there. That's pretty damn awesome. Be sure to tube in to Dodgers Territory on the Foul Territory Network. We are live Mondays and Thursdays at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern for Alanna. Of course, she's back doing High Heat with Chris Russo, so apologies to her and her eardrums. Reminder, if you guys are looking for a different way to support me, I do have a Patreon page if you want to support independent baseball coverage and just a different option. Check it out, patreon.com/realfrg, trying to get that thing going. I really am thankful for the folks that have signed up there. I'm hoping I could build that up into something bigger and better and make it, I had somebody say, I'm not trying to pay for access. Like, I'm just trying to pay to support or whatever, but still, I want to blow up something. I want to make it something cool and better for you guys. Shout out the mods. You guys do a killer job. Diane, Jenny Vega, IB Stroking here. You guys do a kick-ass job here in the chat. Finally, if you guys can't watch this live, All Dodgers Live or All Dodgers Podcast with Clint Pasillas is on Apple. It's on Spotify. It's on iHeart. I'm trying to get it on more. I just haven't had time to get it on more. But consider rating and reviewing the show on those on your favorite podcast platforms if you can. I am Real FRG on all of the places. Links are in the description. Hope we earned a thumbs up on the way out. And if you haven't yet, please do subscribe to the channel. It is completely free. I'll see you on the next one. Go Dodgers. Bye.